Hey, well, hello there, my friends. Man, we have got an interesting topic today that we're going to be talking about. For any of you that ever know, a lot of times when I go live, one of the first things I'll do is say, hey, if you like this, like or share it, leave comments, leave your reactions that go across the top. And today is a big day because Facebook 2 days ago announced that they're going to begin to penalize advertisers that are doing this. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this today as I go live, to be able to discuss some of the pros and cons, to hear your feedback on what you think this will mean for your advertisers. So, as I'm talking today, again, any feedback that you guys have, feel free to leave it below. But this is just a really interesting topic for a lot of reasons, especially when it comes to Facebook advertisers. So what Facebook recently announced and changed was that they're trying to reduce the amount of what they call engagement bait. And that's a term that they use. Now, traditionally, I think with a lot of clickbait or arbitrage type of campaigns, what advertisers are looking to do is to leverage some sort of piece of content that a lot of people are interested in. Clickbait traditionally could be like, oh my gosh, you've got to see this photo. It's the most amazing one ever of Kim Kardashian. And you would click and go to a page and there would be no photo of Kim Kardashian. It would just be a bunch of ads and some random content. And so Facebook, put kind of the kibosh on that, and they've, pushed clickbait out. They then have gone on, and if there are people that are doing arbitrage, this is where I'd be like, oh my goodness, these 35 photos of Kim Kardashian you've got to see. If a person clicks out of Facebook and goes to a website, there would be like one photo of Kim Kardashian, but like 50 ads all around it, like squished in as much as you could get onto that page. And what happens is a person is basically trying to buy a click from Facebook for 5 cents, and then they're trying to be able to generate 6 to 7 cents in ads because of all the ads that are there. And so what happens is if they can be able to get that in the positive, they're like, woohoo, and then they just hit the gas and just keep working to get a lot of content. So that's arbitrage. Now, what's interesting is what's happened now, which is, generally Facebook rewards ads that have good engagement. When you're getting a lot of likes, a lot of comments, if people are sharing your post, if people are leaving reactions, you are able to get a higher relevance score. Now, when you get a higher relevance score, what happens is Facebook lowers the charges for the advertisers. A lot of times you'll see lower CPMs, lower CPCs, and your ad will be able to be shown more to more of the audience that's there. If you're not getting a good relevance score, Facebook views you as kind of boring or dull, or your ad isn't relevant to people. So they either suppress it and lower your potential reach, or they just charge you more and they start to raise the amount that you would need to pay for those ads. So to be able to combat that, a lot of people or advertisers, when they're putting up their ads, would do different tactics, which would ask for engagement, or say, hey, vote on which thing you like better, or like this comment, or share it with other people. And what Facebook has recently said in the last 2 days is, if they start to detect this from advertisers, what they're going to do is they're going to take 2 steps. The first step is, to begin with, they're going to push down that post in the newsfeed, or that ad in the newsfeed, meaning it won't appear higher up. It'll only appear lower down in terms of the rankings and when it could potentially appear. So a person would have to scroll a long way down their newsfeed to at some point eventually see that ad. The second thing that they've said, and this is where it starts to become an issue, is they've said that if they notice these type of ads to continue to come from an advertiser, they will now drop the reach for all posts. And it wasn't 100% sure whether it's organic, whether it's paid ads, how Facebook is going to implement this, but they're going against engagement baiting. And so what this means is potentially every other post or ad that you are running could start to lose all of its reach because Facebook is detecting this on your account. Now, they haven't said there's any sort of indicator yet to see if you're hitting this. At this point, it sounds like it's a mysterious metric that Facebook is going to start implementing on the back end that, in their world, they're like, this is going to create a better experience for users because only the things that are really engaging would actually get engagement. Things that are normal or average that people are like, hey, like or share this, that might be getting higher engagement. No, those are going to start, they're going to start to try to filter those out. So it's real content. And then what will happen is the content that's very good will get high relevance scores. The content that's not will get very bad relevance scores. And Facebook gave 3 examples of this, and I wanted to share them with you guys, or share them with you today, so that you guys could get some ideas of what they're talking about. And this is out on Facebook's site as well as on our blog. The first one example, I printed these out, no arts and crafts time. This would be an ad where it says, vote on your 2018 goals. There's 4 options, and they list a reaction next to each one. So it's a like, a heart, a smiley face, or the wow face. If you put these into your images now or potential videos, Facebook is saying it has the potential to penalize not just one ad, but all the ads for that entire account that could be showing. So again, this is a tactic that a lot of people have used. It allows engagement where people, regardless of what they're doing, would be able to share their feedback on a potential product or service. So, if this is a company that talks about New Year's goals, I would think that this would be a fine ad that would generate a higher relevance score, or would do much better in terms of results. Facebook is now saying, no, not anymore. You need to create something where they're actually responding to the content that's in there. Another one that they had, this was another sample ad where is from a potential ad site called Be Your Best Self, and the copy above it says, like in all caps this if you're Aries, or love this if you're a Leo, to find true love. So what they're saying is now copy that refers to specifically asking people to like or to share or to love or leave a heart would be in violation of their new policy and could potentially get your ads flagged. The last example that they have here was from a car dealer, and where it says share with 10 friends for a chance to win a new convertible. Now this is very common. A lot of people try to run promotions or things like that on Facebook, but for the most part, this again is, in Facebook's eyes, they view it as you're basically baiting, what they call baiting for engagement. Now, I imagine that this comes because there's some advertisers that are manipulating this or using this for content that's not very relevant or worthwhile on Facebook, or not valuable to users in general. The part of this that, there's 2 sides of this. Like, I understand Facebook's need to be able to have quality content. On the flip side, I know a lot of advertisers, maybe some that don't necessarily have resources, to be like, let me go shoot a new full-fledged creative video every week to 2 weeks because that's what Facebook wants. And they're trying to use tactics to be like, hey, we want to help people be more engaged about our content. And these are proven tactics that generally will increase your relevance score when you use them. So it's interesting to see kind of the difference here in what Facebook is doing, because generally they've rewarded advertisers that have found ways to create ads more engaging. And that engagement means that people are interacting with Facebook. Facebook is becoming more valuable to them, where they're like, hey, I'm able to interact with the ads and potentially provide feedback. Facebook is now, to some extent, being like, no. These would be, I don't know if I'd call them tricks, but methods or techniques. If you have an ad and you're like, how do I get my relevance score up a couple of points? This would be something that I generally would recommend to people, to be like, this is something you can do right now to help get better engagement from your people who are seeing your ad. What I think is happening is Facebook's attempt to really push and emphasize the highest quality content to users, and to start to make those, elements of where maybe mediocre content can start to rise up. Facebook is now pushing that back down, being like, no, it's great content or you're going to pay. And that's really what it's coming down to. So, I get my 2 cents out of seeing all of this for advertisers is you have got to double down on your creative and your content and what you're doing, and really dialing in and making sure that what you're trying to provide out to the people on Facebook is quality, provides value to them, is interesting, is short. You have to respect their attention spans. And so if you try to create a 2-minute video and people only want to watch 10 seconds, you're not listening to what the dynamics of how people are engaging and interacting on Facebook, and that will ultimately penalize you in terms of your results and your campaigns. So, again, it's a super interesting topic. If you have comments or want to share your feedback on what you think this will mean for your ads, is this a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Leave your comments below. And I'm almost scared saying that now, because now I can no longer ask for your feedback. That's now considered engagement baiting by Facebook, when I just would consider it a conversation and be like, oh, I want to hear what you have to say. So, multiple sides here. Ultimately, I see Facebook trying to improve it. I also see Facebook being a very complicated platform. And I know there's a lot of people that are trying to find ways to be able to improve their ads and to create more engagement with the users. So, again, man, I have so much I want to talk about this. I think if Facebook had better tools that allowed advertisers to create more engaging posts, I think that might be something that would be better than just, hey, we're pushing this out. But my thought would be that these changes are most likely in response to advertisers that are massively manipulating this, meaning every single thing they do is like this. And I would think most advertisers aren't. They've got multiple products, multiple ads, to where it's not just trying to manipulate Facebook's algorithm to get more engagement. So that would be my thought on where this problem or this change originated from. But to some extent, it has the ability to overflow into other areas. Similar to what we saw with the political ads, where Facebook, there was a big issue over the potential Russians hacking the elections. Facebook took that and now is like, for all election ads, there's now full transparency on how much you spent, on where your ads were shown, on who they were shown to, on the advertiser, and the history of every ad that political person has ever done. So, that's in the process right now. They're testing it in Canada. What happens is, if Facebook wants to, they can roll that out to all other advertisers as well. So these are problems that are stemming from people that are knowingly trying to, hack the system and create their own results, or create, to be able to leverage Facebook to get what they want. Facebook saying no to them, but it definitely has an overflow effect on other advertisers and what they're doing. But again, my 2 cents is you've got to focus on providing fantastic creative. You've got to really focus on your users, who you're targeting, where they are in the consumer life cycle process, what are their needs at that point, and creating ads that are either fun or educational or engaging, where there's a lot of potential back and forth, where people would have the ability to creatively share their feedback without you knowingly asking them for that. So that's it for today. That's our update. This is a big change in terms of Facebook's world. I don't think it's being implemented like right now today to all sites. It's something that Facebook generally will roll out slowly. But let me know what you think. I want to hear your comments below. And have a wonderful day. I want to thank you guys that are attending and watching now. It's been fantastic. And until next time, have a great day. Peace.